It's my grandma's birthday, and I asked her what she wanted, and she wanted a new bag. So I said to her that I would make one for her, and she was really excited about this. So I got her to choose a fabric, and the fabric that she chose was this fabric that I got from Morocco, kind of like this geometric pattern. So if you don't know me already, my name's Gavin. I make things. So if you're interested in that, come join, come subscribe. Let's hang. We've got our fabric. At the moment, we're doing a bit of decorating. So this kind of explains why there's random colors on the walls. So yeah, this bag is a custom piece for my grandma. So there's no kind of pattern or anything that we're following. Maybe we'll go with a 30 centimeter depth and then like a 45. We'll see how big a 45 is. That might be a bit too big. I might bring it down to 40. So for this, we just need to draw one rectangle, then we're folding it over so that we have two identical pieces. Then we're going to cut the same on the lining fabric. For the handles, we cut two strips that are about 55 centimeters long and about 10 centimeters wide. So the dimensions that I ended up going for were 40 centimeters wide by 30 centimeters down. Yeah, so this step's pretty simple. So we just fold it over so that we have two. When we cut it, we get two copies that are identical. Then at the same time, I'm gonna lay the no, actually no, I'll make it more precise. I'm gonna cut the lining separately, but measure the same dimensions. The good thing about a kind of geometric pattern is that it's really easy to see kind of where the straight line is, because we want the pattern to kind of look, well, if you're not straight, if you're not going with a straight line on a bag with a pattern like this, it's really noticeable if the bottom of the bag kind of skews up. I got this from Morocco when I was there earlier this year, because I like to kind of buy fabric wherever I am, wherever I go on holiday. This one, it kind of warps and stretches one way. It's not supposed to be a stretched fabric, but because of how it's made, I'll give a little close up now of the fabric so you can kind of see. It's a really, really pretty fabric, but also like if you were to go to Marrakesh and to Morocco, this fabric is kind of everywhere. They make like bags and stuff out of it. So when I went to the fabric shop, I was looking for this specific fabric. It's kind of it's a woven. This part here is woven, and it's then with I guess kind of woven polyester as well. But these threads are like wool, and then the gold parts here are polyester. But it gives a really really nice effect, especially these like gold. If I kind of turn the camera, you'll see like uh, the reflectiveness of the gold pieces. But the problem with this fabric is that it frays really easily. So these like the woven parts with the black fabric do come out quite easily. So I need to go around and kind of overlock the edges. So at this point, I didn't realize that my microphone had died while I was doing this. So I cut out the first rectangle, then laid it over the second part to try and pattern match, just kind of making sure that the edges were matching up and looked nice. Now we have the two outer pieces. We've got the lining. I want this. I want this to have a pocket. So I'm gonna. The struggle is real. So I'm saying something about cutting out the material for the pocket. YouTube is hard, you know. The next part we have to cut is the handles. So for this part, we want them about 55 centimeters going from left to right. And then the width we want is about It depends on the final width that you want of your handles. So they're going to be folded in half. So this part will be folded up here. Then it will be folded in on itself again to kind of encase that and give a nice handle. So you need to divide. Well, you can think of your final handle length, or the final handle width, sorry, and then whatever width you want that, you need to times it by 4 because it's going to be halved and then halved again. So I'm going for about a 2.5 centimeter width handle when it's finished. So then one fold will be 5 centimeters, then another fold will be 10 centimeters. So we want 10 centimeters times 2. So we're doing 55 centimeters across and then 10 centimeters top to bottom. So now we've got everything cut out. We have the 2 handle pieces. We've got the pocket, the lining, 2 pieces for the lining, and then 2 pieces for the outer edge. So now it's time to start sewing everything. So before we start constructing the rest of it, I don't have an overlocker. Yeah, so we're just going to quickly run a giant zigzag stitch that goes partly in, then it goes over the edge of the fabric, back in, over and out, just to kind of imitate an overlock stitch. So now we have a kind of fake overlocking stitch on the outer pieces and the handles. The next step is with the right sides together, we're going to sew the sides, the bottom, and the top of the outer piece, and then also with the lining, we're going to put the pocket in before we do that. So the same steps. So you're sewing the sides, the bottom, pardon me, the side, the bottom, and the sides again. And then for the pocket piece, what you want to do is you want to lay the pocket out in the middle, so like sandwich between that. I'll do it on top so you can see, and then fold the pocket kind of where you want it, and then you're going to sew it like that inside with it sandwiched. So then it will create a kind of pocket in there. But the first thing we want to do is we want to hem the top edge of here just to give a nice clean top. So we'll roll over the top part twice and then kind of stitch along there. I'm probably going to use an iron to press it just to make it nice and crisp. So yeah, so let me quickly press the top part here and then we'll start the construction. Now we have a really nice pressed edge for the pocket. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to sew a top stitch on the pocket edge here. Then we're going to fold this into the lining. So first, let's sew that top stitch on the pocket. This machine does not want to cooperate. She's so old. I'm just going to take it off, to be honest. We'll just take it off. So now we have a nice finished edge on here. Okay. Before I start sewing everything, I will show you what we're doing next. So we are sewing the sides, the bottoms of the outer and the lining. With the lining, if we want to attach the pocket, so I've clicked onto the side and the bottom and part of the side. We fold back the inner. So this will be the inside. So if you imagine that like this part that you can see here would be the outer or face into the bag, the bit that you would see would be this part here, the inside. So we take the pocket and then we're going to fold it up. So this would be, let me put it this way so you can see. This fabric is nice, like the gold one, but it's just like the polyester fibers go everywhere. Okay, so line up the raw edge of the pocket material with the raw edge of the lining, and then you want to kind of lay the pocket kind of to the depth that you want it, making sure it's kind of straight. And then you're going to sandwich this in the lining. So we're going to put that over here once we've kind of made sure that we're happy with the placement and all of that. Yeah, and that's it. And then when we open it, we'll have a pocket that's contained. Yeah, I might do one. Probably I will do like a stitch down the middle here, just so there's kind of two separate containers for the pockets. So we're going to do this with a straight stitch. And this is where we can turn it inside out, just to have a look and see if there's any gap. So the corners aren't done yet, but I think I've done a pretty good job with the pattern matching there, if I do say so myself. Where I cut it is a little bit wonky, but I was focusing on the pattern matching here. So we don't need to worry about this part so much because this is going to be hidden and we'll make it even in the end. Yes. Okay. So now we'll do the same with the lining. Then we can do the same thing. We'll turn it inside out, check for any holes, see if there's any stitches that we missed. And then kind of, you can trim off the edges to make it a bit neater if you want. Personally, I'm probably not going to do that because this will be inside and you won't really see it. So the next step is I'm thinking about having a flat closure that goes on the top. So I'm thinking about having a flap that goes over, if you imagine this, a bigger flap that goes over here as a closure. So I think I'm going to add that. So I'm just going to quickly cut out a half, what would that be called? I'm going to cut out a semicircle, 2 semicircles, and then sew those together, wrong sides together. So to do the flap, you can be mathematical about it. You can be precise. You can measure. For me, I'm just going to use a plate. So take a plate and then the part where it starts to go in, draw from there, but come down from the edge a little bit, just so you can give yourself some seam allowance and to give a straight edge. So trace round from where the plate starts to round out. And then you can use a ruler or you can use something else just to give a straight line from there going up. Yeah. And then we'll fold this over so that we get it twice. Pattern matching isn't so important for this one because we're not going to see them against each other as much. Weigh that down. Just going to cut along the sides to flatten it out so I can cut it here. Just going to go a little bit outside the line just to give myself a little bit more seam allowance. So now without moving, we can actually just use them right there into kind of a clip around here. So now we're going to stitch all the way around here. So it turns out I didn't actually record this bit. So we've just done a straight stitch around the edge of this one. So now when it's sewn and turned inside out, now we have a nice flap for the enclosures to sit in. I think I need to start checking properly that it's recording each time. And then I did a quick zigzag stitch just around the edge to kind of do a fake overlock stitch just to kind of help with the fraying. So the next part that we have to do is we're taking the handles. I mean, you can already see some of the felt that's coming off. And then what we do with the handles is we fold them once so that the edges meet in the middle. And then we take that and we fold it all the way over and then stitch along here. But to help hold that in place, I'm going to use an iron to press it folded like this. So we're going to go along, fold all the way along, press this. Then once that's pressed, then we fold it in press it again, put some clips on, and then we're going to stitch along here. Now we have some lovely flat handles, and then the flap is also pressed flat as well. So we're going to put those to the side for now. The next step is the box corners. I probably should have done this before, but we're going to do it now. The order doesn't matter anyway. Let's do it on this side. It's a little bit easier to see where the stitching is. So depending on how thick you want your bag to be, this is the size. You're going to increase the size of the box corner. So it helps to have a kind of square ruler, can make it a bit easier. So I'm going to do a 4 centimeter. So what you do is effectively you're going to make a square. So we'll go 4 centimeters across and 4 centimeters up. So it's easy when you have a ruler with a square corner, maybe one that doesn't have the markings that have been kind of erased off kind of here. But what you're going to do is you're going to find the stitching and then 4 centimeters and 4 centimeters. So we've got 4 centimeters going down this way and then 4 centimeters here. And then just take the chalk and just kind of draw around that. So we want to be able to see that line. This chalk doesn't work very well on this fabric. So we see that. Then we're going to do that on here and on this side too. So let's cut to when I've done that. So now we have the box corners done on the outer layer and the lining. It's probably going to be easier to show you what to do on the lining because of the fabric. So with the boxes on both sides, what you're going to do is you're going to open up and kind of push it apart so that you have this going across here. Ideally, I should have made sure that it was a little bit straighter, but it's really not going to be much of a problem. So you're looking for the corner of this box and then the corner of this box, and then you're going to push so that you have a kind of triangle here. Then you can use a clip, if I can find one, to kind of hold it in place like that. And then what you're going to do is push it a little bit over there. What you're going to do is you're basically just going to sew all the way across here, and then this will create a thicker bag. So the bag won't be thin and flat, it will have volume. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to go around. I'm not actually going to pin all of these. I am okay with just holding it like here in the machine and then just going straight across. So we are almost done with we're almost done with the sewing. Now it's about the construction. So what we need to do now is we need to figure out the placement of the handles. So how I do it is I fold it over in half, then fold it over again. And then, so you can see here, a fold and then a half again. And then I take a chalk and I mark on the inside of just here. So we're going to line up the stitching, fold it in half, fold it in half again with the edge to the edge, and then just mark on the inside where that kind of middle point is. We've got this red line here. I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but the red line is here. To give you a visualization, let me put a clip there because it can also make it a bit easier. So this is where one of the handles will be. We turn it over, then we mark on the other side of the fabric where that, oh my God, you fell over. You're drunk. Calm yourself down, darling. And then we mark on the other side of the fabric where that clip is. So we're going to make a mark there. Then we open it up. So now we have a mark here and a clip here. Turn it over. Oh, everything's going wrong. Everything's fallen over. So there's fireworks going on outside because it's bonfire night. It's all going crazy. So then we're going to mark here as well. We're going to mark here where the tip is. Oh my God. So we're going to mark here where this clip is, and then we'll have a look and see where the mark is on here. Just put the chalk on there so then we know that that's where it goes. So then when we're constructing it, we have all of our pieces. So we put the line. Let me just grab everything so I've got it all here to construct. I realized that I completely missed out a step. So we need to stitch the handles and the flap. So we're just going to run a straight stitch all the way across the handles, and then a straight stitch, just a top stitch around the flap just here. So let's quickly do that, and then we'll get back to the construction. So now we have the top stitch handle. So you can see here we've got a nice top stitch just running around down the length of this one, and a flap here. So how we do this, let me just check everything's in frame. So the lining, the good side is facing the good side of the exterior. So you put it inside, so you can see the pocket is here. So the pocket is facing the outside. How I kind of like to match it up is I take the outside, the left and the right side of the lining, kind of pull it taut, and then match up the side seams of the outer lining, and then we're going to fin that. So pin that side and that side, and now we have the little lines where our straps are going to be. So the straps go inside between the lining and the outer layer, kind of like this, but inside. And then you want to make sure that it's completely flat. So each side, if you were to flatten it out, lines up to here. So they're going to be pinned, but inside. So we can put, we leave a little bit hanging out so we have enough on there. So let's clip that one there. Then again, we just make sure it's the same side, push it in there, and then clip that there. Then we'll do the same on the other side. So now we've got the handles, the lining. Now we need to add the flap. So the flap's going to sit just in between there. So I might just scoot that over a little bit. Before I sew this into there, I'm going to attach the backing into here. So effectively, this one is just it's a new packet. So this needs to go inside of here, and then this goes on the top. So we kind of figure out where we want the plate it to be. I think I kind of want it. Let's go with this gold piece just here, and kind of make two small holes, and then poke the legs through. Let's see if I can work it through there. So we got both legs through, and then we're going to put the backing piece on there, and then we just want to fold it over, push it in so that it's nice and tight in there. Both of them are folded over. So now we have the closure on here, nice and tight, and then we kind of vaguely need to see where it's gonna hit. So we'll move this up here. So for this part here, because there's still going to be a hole in the lining here, we can attach the secondary part after. So we'll slide the flap in there, clip that in place. But because we now moved these slightly out the way, we just want to make sure that when they're there, that they're sitting in the same place. So we're going to move this one slightly over. And then this one here needs to go slightly to the left. So now So now they match up. So now we're going to stitch all the way around, leaving a gap here. So I'm going to pin it a bit more just to keep everything in place. Now's the moment of truth where we start turning it inside out and see if we made any mistakes. Oh my God. Guys, remember how I said check that you've got it in the correct class? Oh, I didn't connect it. So now the lining isn't attached. I have to redo it. I have to unpick all of that stitching. Oh, that's so annoying. Because I wasn't careful enough. Okay. That's so annoying. Okay. I need to come back to this tomorrow. I'm tired and hungry. It's a new day in the workroom. I got way too frustrated tr- when I realized that I'd sewn it on wrong last time. As you may have seen, it's been a few days. There's been a few more coats of paint on the wall. Took some time to just kind of like not deal with this and then working. And now we're back at it. So what we're going to try again is we're going to try and reattach the lining. Again, same process. The inside right sides will go facing the right sides. When I did sew the pocket together, what I noticed was that the pocket was a bit flappy. So we're going to sew a stitch down here just to kind of secure that. Then we're going to reattach the lining to the outer casing. So take 2. Now we turn it inside out again, and this is where we hope that I didn't mess it up again, or I'm gonna go on some kind of spree if I've done this again. Oh, yes. Okay. So this is what the bag looks like now. So we've got the correct flap. We've got the 2 pockets inside. We have a small gap that we're going to sew up here. But yes, but first we're going to add the closure onto the inside of just here, and then top stitch all the way around. So first we're going to I'm going to iron and press this to make it nice and flat. I'm going to add the closure just here. Then we're going to top stitch all the way around to seal it up, and then we are done. Editing me here, just jumping in and saying that I apparently didn't film me attaching the closures and then the top stitch, and then also forgot to film a final reveal before I gave it to my nan. What I do have is a small clip of me showing it off to my friend. So I'm gonna play that one next, and then you'll see me giving it to my nan. So yeah, YouTube filming is hard apparently. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So, tell me what you think of it. I'll only accept compliments.
What do you mean now?
I'll only accept compliments. I thought I would wrap it up nicely with some paper.
Did you get your stove?
Yeah, I'm starting it next week.
Oh, that's nice. That's going. Oh, that's nice. How do you open it?
So there's a magnetic closure there. Yeah, just pull that.
That's Gavin, that's nice.
It's all right.